This is a 260 Ackley. It's going to get a makeover. It's going to get a brand new barrel. Or at least I'm going to have the barrel fluted, lighten up a little bit. So we'll kind of go through that process here. What I do. Pull the scope off. And then the rail needs to come off. Now the stock. Now we're ready to slap it in the vise and throw the barrel on. This rifle's built on a Savage action, so this is easily done with a few spare tools, and obviously I've got an action wrench and I've got a barrel wrench to make it easier. Barrel nut wrench just goes over the barrel nut and spin it off. Gotta get the vise a little tighter. there we go. She's ready to go to the gunsmith. I don't know what kind of fluting pattern will do on it, but I'll send it to him this weekend and he'll put a flute on it and have it back. In a couple weeks we'll be able to put it back together. Alright folks, so we got the barrel done, got it all painted. Kind of show you what we did here. Camera's not want to focus. There we go. We use kind of an olive drab earth for the base coat, and then each of the flutes I coated in a tan or a gray. So now we'll put it all back together. I already got it headspace engaged and back on. So now it's just a matter of putting it back together. Make sure the muzzle brake is lined up as best as it can. Looks to me like we need to pull it, put it back in, realign some parts. Key is to make sure everything is lined up as best as you can. So we'll realign the muzzle brake and the barrel nut. Put the action screw back in it. And while we're at it, we'll just go ahead and show you how I hit space will. No-go gauge, put it in, close the bolt. I always do it just until make sure it's all lined up, because it will move a little bit as I tighten it. Now we'll go ahead and tighten our nut here. Okay, that's still. Then we check it with the go gauge. Make sure the go gauge still close on the go gauge. Perfect. So we just barely start to cam over with the no-go, but we close all the way with the go gauge. That's what we want. And that's probably going to be a lot better as far as lined up with both our nut and our brake. Absolutely. We'll be ready to put it back into stock. This action wrench and my action vise, the barrel nut wrench, was all bought from Northland Shooter Supply, obviously for Savage Action. There's several others you can go out there, but Northland was kind of one of the biggest ones when I was doing a lot of this. Perfect. Everything lined up, everything looks good. We're ready to rock and roll. There we have it. I had it fluted. I painted it. So now I'll stick the stock and everything else back in it. I'll stick the scope back on it. Good torque. Okay, now what I'll do just to verify is I'll get a piece of 260 brass that I've shot through this rifle. Obviously, like no bullet, no powder, just to make sure everything fits and cycles just like it should. Perfect. That way, we don't have to take anything else apart. We can test the eye relief. Looks good right there. And now we'll torque this one back down. I always make sure that they're pushed back towards the rail, and I don't know, just something I've always kind of been taught and learned that that's kind of supposed to help with recoil. So whether it does, and recoil movement of your scope, whether it does, I don't know, or your rings, but something I was always taught. And there we have it. Got the 260 Ackley with a 23-inch barrel, Excalibur barrel, sitting on a Savage Action Manners stock, using, I believe, I'm trying to think what magazines. AI mags, 5-round mags, and then yeah, Savage Action. So she was a shooter before. I just wanted to lighten up the barrel a little bit, have some flutes on, light it up, and kind of change the look of it. So like I said, we went tan with gray with that darker brown on the main flutes. So next project's take it out to the range.